Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Backyard Buckets once again. Today, as you saw by the title and thumbnail, we are talking about Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. The 25-year-old Serbian has been on a tear recently to start the NBA season. Although his team's not the greatest, he dropped 50 points the other night on the 6th against the Sacramento Kings, and they actually lost by 5. And then on the last day of January, they were playing the Jazz. They actually beat the Jazz by 11, ended the Jazz's winning streak, and he dropped 47. So big time performances there by the Joker to start off the NBA season. But with all that being said, make sure to like and subscribe on today's video because it'll really help us out. The YouTube algorithm, especially liking, getting it out there for other people to watch, and it would be greatly appreciated. Now, with that being said, this year the Nuggets, they are 12-10 and 6th in the West. At least for me, they've been a little bit disappointing. If you go back and watch the predictions video I made at the beginning of the season, I had them as the 2 seed in the West, so a bit ambitious there. Obviously, according to my ranking, they're underperforming, but still 6th in the West is not bad. The West has been very, very good this year, with some surprising teams as well. Including obviously the Utah Jazz and the new look Houston Rockets as well. But the biggest liability for this Nuggets team so far has been defense. Offensively, they're top 5 in the NBA with the fifth best offensive rating in the NBA. But their defensive rating is bottom 10 in the league at 22nd. So obviously leaning on that offense there for the most part. And Nikola Jokic, I'd say he's been carrying. He's been carrying the entire team. Like I said, Jamal Murray has not been as good as we thought. We'll talk a little bit more about him in a little bit. But Jokic has just been absolutely dominant. He scored 35 plus 6 times in just 22 games. So hold on, let me do some math. It's like 1 in every 4 games he's dropping 35 or more, which is absolutely crazy. But he's also scored less than 20 points 5 times this season, but 4 of those were when he scored 19. So he's only scored less than 19 once or twice. So I can't do math. I'm sorry about that. But Jokic is averaging 27 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists on the year, shooting the ball 57% from the field, which is pretty good, but obviously he's a low post player. Before stretch big. He shoots 39% from 3 though, which is pretty good. One of the big numbers there is 9 assists. He leads the team in assists by far, and he's the center. So that's always a plus when your big man can pass like that. But he's just been very, very good for them this season, arguably in the MVP conversation, especially if they were a little bit better than 6th in the West. Like I said earlier, his co-star, whatever you want to call him, is Robin to Batman, whatever you want to call for him, Jamal Murray, he has not been the greatest this year. Now, I get he's only 23, which is actually pretty crazy. He's only 23 years old, but he's only averaging 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. This is the guy that just absolutely went off last year in the playoffs. I don't know if he's just taking it easy in the regular season. I'm not sure, but he has not looked all that great so far this season. He's shooting the ball 45% from the field and 55% from 3, so not a great season so far from Jamal Murray. Another guy, Michael Porter Jr., another piece of their young core. He is only 22 years old. He's been mocked around in a lot of trades, so it'll be interesting to see if he continues to play decent. I mean, he's not playing the greatest. He is playing all right, averaging 15 points, 6.5 rebounds, and only 1 assist per game. Or not even an assist per game. He's averaging like 0.7, which shows he shoots the ball a lot, but he is shooting 52% from the field and 43% from 3. So when your numbers look like that, you can shoot the ball, at least if you're on my team. So a pretty decent season from Michael Porter Jr. there. Another guy, Will Barton, he's averaging 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists, shooting about 41% from the field and 38% from 3. So another good, I'm pretty sure he comes off the bench for him. but he's a very, very good piece, as you can say, of the puzzle there for that Denver Nuggets team, part of the supporting cast. Another guy, Monte Morris, he's averaging 11 points, 2 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. He's the guy that's kind of famous for assist to turnover ratio. He had like the greatest assist to turnover ratio in NCAA history or something, if I'm remembering right. That might not be right, but I'm pretty sure it was something like that. Correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong. But he's shooting 50% from the field and 36% from 3, so a really, really solid backup point guard there for the Denver Nuggets. Another guy, JaMychal Green, he's averaging 11 points, 6.5 rebounds, and an assist per game, shooting the ball 46% from the field and 47% from 3 on 4 or more attempts per game. So really, really good contributions there. I did not know he could stretch the floor like that. Maybe I'm just a casual, but JaMychal Green playing a big part in the Nuggets' somewhat limited success so far this season. Gary Harris, he's averaging 10 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 2 assists, shooting the ball 45% from the field, but only 33% from 3, so not the greatest three-point shooting there from Gary Harris. He's another guy that I've seen in a lot of mock trades, especially in that one video that I made about the Denver Nuggets and Bradley Beal. It was him and Michael Porter Jr. going to Washington for Bradley Beal, so I mean, you never know. Sometimes trade rumors make players play worse. Sometimes they make them play better. Last guy we're going to talk about, at least from a statistical point, Paul Millsap, averaging 10.5 points per game, 1.5 assists, and 5 rebounds, shooting the ball 49% from the field and 40% from 3. So pretty good numbers there from Millsap, who is getting up there in age, but he is contributing for this Nuggets team. They have had a lot of guys miss games, which is becoming the new normal here during the COVID season. I'm not sure what's going on with the video in the background. It should get better here shortly, though. But they do have guys like Bobo, RJ Hampton, and Zeke Naji, who, in my opinion, should be playing more, especially with guys missing games left and right due to COVID, due to injuries. But they have not played a lot. Maybe going forward, you will see them playing some more. But that's a lot of untapped potential that they've got there on their roster. But yeah, I think the Nuggets will get back up towards the top of the Western Conference in the playoff hunt, especially if they can continue to get healthy, if they get some better play out of Jamal Murray, maybe if Michael Porter Jr. starts passing the ball a little bit better. But yeah, Jokic, I'm pretty sure he's going to continue to dominate. The Joker, he's a beast. But with all that being said, that is going to be it for today's video. So if you enjoyed this video at any point, make sure to hit the like and the subscribe button. It'll really help us out a lot in the YouTube algorithm especially, and it'll be greatly appreciated. If you need any help for March Madness, make sure to come back to the channel because we're doing in-depth breakdowns for every first round game, each region of the bracket, all of that good stuff. So if you need some help, make sure to come back because we got it all. We got our formula. We're ready to go. And with that being said, thanks.